Hey, what's up, everybody? How we doing? Back with another Play Us. This time, kind of getting back into something I have a little more experience in with the Xbox brand. I'm sure if you were paying attention to any type of gaming news, you saw that Xbox had its Xbox Direct. I think it was short, sweet, to the point. Just show the games, let the devs talk about it a little bit, and stuff that's all coming out this year. And in the case of one of them, dropping that same day. Um, so I just kind of want to touch base on that and my thoughts on all the things that they kind of announced, and just and then at the end, I saw that Phil Spencer did an interview with IGN. It was like a 30-minute interview. It was a pretty good one. He covered some topics. I'll just go over that a little bit at the end of it, and yeah, all right. So we'll jump right in. So first thing that they talked about was the Minecraft Legends, and that's it. From what I gathered from it, and here we'll throw the trailer on here. Well, from what I gathered from it, it looks like it's gonna be um like a multiplayer, like almost like a base defense kind of game, where you got minions and stuff that are attacking each side, and like you can have different strategies and do different types of defenses, different types of attacks. It's it's definitely interesting. They're really expanding what Minecraft is. It's come a long way since frickin' starting with just block world and building stuff in it. I mean, the base game itself has come a long way, but it's crazy the stuff they're doing now. I know they had that like RPG one. I hadn't get a chance to play it, but this actually, I mean, like I said, I'm not the biggest Minecraft fan in the world, but this looks interesting. If they do it right, it could be an interesting take on the game and an interesting tower defense game. So I think it's gonna have it's got like I said, almost like a real time strategy style thing going to it. Yeah, say like the base building, and but I don't know. I think it's definitely got some type of potential on this one, and I mean, it seems like they can do no wrong with the Minecraft name, especially I mean like all this stuff too. I mean, it's gonna be on Game Pass, so if you just want to try it. Boom. There you go. If you have Game Pass, it's almost a no-brainer. But I am curious to see a little bit about this. Not like I said, not the biggest Minecraft fan in the world, but it I do like tower defense and like base building and stuff like that. So it could be a good time. But I mean, I'd heard a little bit that they're working on something about that, so it's cool to see what it was. Next up that they did, which I'm actually kind of excited about, was the Forza gameplay, which look at this. This game looks amazing. This thing, the graphics in this game are insane, which all Forzas are. I mean, but the sound effects that they said they worked on and everything else they've done. I mean, I was seeing something they said with the tires. They has so many more trackers on like where it connects with the racetrack, so it's going to have even more sim like features. But like this game is, I mean, if you're into race sims, you obviously got to be into race games, but this game is, it's just next level. I can't think if they've, for me, I don't think they've ever made a bad Forza, so, but, I mean, just look at the way the cars, like, reflect off of one another, and it's gonna be insane. The quality that, like, when it comes out, when you can actually see this. Um, they're gonna have a huge car collection. I know they said at 1.2, like even all like the engine tuning, like they've even gone even more in depth with the sounds coming from the engines, like with different types of like turbos and stuff like that. With when it connects with the engine, like how it's gonna sound. Like they went so in depth with this that it's just insane. I didn't catch if they said that they had a special like car deal with this one. I know with the last one they had Ford GT when that was coming out, which is pretty cool. So it'd be interesting to see what they do for this one. But like I said, look at that. Look, it's insane the graphics in this game. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna play it just to check out the cars and just do that. But I will play for a little while though. But that's definitely something that I'm looking forward to. Um, I'm curious though if there are a lot of Forza fans in the audience though. Be cool if there are. We can maybe get some game nights going with that. But yeah, look at that. I mean, look at that. insane. But all right, so we'll stop with Forza for now. Um, Next up was a shadow drop of a game. They didn't really even announce like there's nothing that I even know that leaked about this game before. It was called Hi-Fi Rush, and I instantly when I saw this, it gave me Jet Set Radio vibes. And we'll talk about it later, but I know Phil Spencer had said even though it's not the same, it's definitely like had an inspiration for it because he wanted that to be in one of the backwards compatible games. But you could see that it's got, for me at least, I thought, wow, Jet Set for real, like vibes. It's gonna be. I haven't played it yet, but I know it's already out. Obviously, it was the Shadow Drop. The whole game, from what I'm understanding, is synced up with the music track that is playing at the time. Like I know they say at one point during this trailer that the like traps and like the things that slam down and everything like that is all like rocking to the beat. Like and then if you attack with the beat, it actually like it times up and you do more damage and it syncs up and you can have like a higher combo. But I mean, come on, look at that. It like does it not give Jet Set vibe with this? I mean, the graphics, the music idea, like I don't know. It looks interesting. I'm not super big into like cartoony style graphics. I mean, I played Borderlands and I know some people won't play it because of that, but like this is a game that I might try just because like I do like a soundtrack too to a game. So if it does get I do get some time, I might throw this up on the Steam Deck and try this out. Because usually when I'm playing on the Xbox or the computer, I'm usually playing something else with people. So this might be after I get done with what I'm playing now. This might be something on my future just to mess around with and see what it's all about because I know it's got good reviews too. And again, this goes back to things I've said before. I think the shadow drop idea is a great idea because it doesn't give people so much time to be negative about the game. You're just jumping in and playing. So you're not building up this huge hype and this thought process that, oh, it's going to be this. You're going to get your brain like thinking like, I wish they would do more shadow drops of games. And I know marketing and stuff and like tie-ins, they gonna, especially with a lot of big games, they're never going to do that. But stuff like this, it's definitely really cool that they did that. And like I said, it seems like it's paying off for them. But yeah, so Hi-Fi Rush, check it out. Let me know what you guys think. The last thing they showed in the direct was ESO. Now, I am a pretty big Elder Scrolls fan. I think I've talked about that before. I just I have a hard time getting into MMOs. I don't know why, and I thought this was going to be one to do it. And I played it for a little while, but I just have a hard time. But they all their cutscenes though, the freaking CGI trailers they do for these games are freaking spot on. But this one, from my understanding of it, to not playing the game, I believe it's going back to where Morrowind took place on. I'm gonna butcher it, Vivandervel. I know I butchered that, so I apologize. If I'm understanding that, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it has something to do with that. Um, Look at this though. It looks sick. Just like I said, I have a hard time getting into MMOs. I just want I really want them to do like an Elder Scrolls or the Fallout games. I just want them to have like a co-op. But like I said, this is definitely like I said. I know this has got a lot of people playing. And I know people really like these games. So if this is something that you're into, and like I said, if you're an Elder Scrolls fan, I say give it a try. If you haven't, maybe this will be the one to get you into it. If you're also like me and not into MMOs, I just have a hard time with the MMOs. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely it looks sick. It makes me want to jump back in and try again because of how sick this looks. But I'm thinking again, this is another thing too. I don't have the time to hop into MMOs and just actually like play them. So I'm a little past that stage. Maybe when when the little guy gets a little older, maybe I will try again. But by that point, there'll probably be something else crazy out. But again, World of Warcraft's been around forever, so. But again, it does look sick. You know which one I did forget to talk about, and we'll throw that up right now. Actually, um, I forgot they actually announced it, and I was not um a fan. Like I was like, it looks okay, but it's probably not something I'm gonna get. Is this Redfall game? Now, this again, up until this Xbox Direct, I wasn't thinking about even buying this game. Oh, well, I'm not gonna buy it. It's gonna be on Game Pass, but now I'm actually interested in playing it. It's got actually a pretty cool vibe to it. Almost, you know what it kind of reminds me of with like the drops. It kind of reminds me of like a Destiny meets like a Left for Dead. And maybe I'm way off with it now, but that last trailer really had me feeling like that. It's got like the classes and stuff, which we've talked about that. I'm not a big class system guy, but I'm I'm thinking I'm thinking I might actually try it now. I might try to convince a couple of the guys to hop in and play this with me because I don't know. It looks like it could be interesting. It also kind of gives me uh what is the name of that game? Hunter the Reckoning vibes, like OG Xbox, but like a first person. Obviously, that was a top down. It's kind of got those vibes going for it, but it looks it looks like it could be kind of good. I'm curious to see what everybody else is thinking about this. Is everyone's going to try it? Um, if it's on your radar, if you're staying away from it, but like I said, that last trailer definitely piqued my interest on this one. I know it takes place like I want to say I don't know why. I don't know if I heard this or I'm just imagining that I heard this. I want to say it takes place like in Maine or something, and the vampires are rolling in, and you pretty much got to like there's lighthouses and it, like clears out certain areas. From my understanding of it, and you're just trying to clear everything out. Again, I haven't paid too much attention to it because I wasn't super interested until the last one. So maybe I will do a little more deep diving into this one and figure a little more out. But yeah, like I said, that's a cool thing too about seeing a game. The opposite of the shadow drop thing is that you can see it through the development. I feel like it's got a little less cartoony too as it's gone, and I don't know if that was done on purpose or because the alpha footage that we saw. I don't know if there was like a switch in that trend because of that, but like I said, it's definitely piquing my interest more now than it did at the beginning. So, all right, and then probably the last topic we're going to cover today is the Phil Spencer interview. Um, Again, go check this out for yourself. He did a really good job. I give him credit for just after the with the Xbox layoffs and everything, just hopping on an interview as soon as he did. And he's always been that kind of guy, like where he's trying to stay out in front of things. And I get it from a PR perspective, but it's easier said than done. Um, what's some of the big topics? He talked about Shadow Drop and High Rush, Hi-Fi Rush, sorry, and things like that, and how he was, like I said, the Jet Set. I talked about that earlier. How he had kind of had that vibes, even though it's a completely different type of game, but it has that vibe to it. Um, he talked about with how all the stuff was dropping to Game Pass. I believe, yeah, he didn't talk too much about Starfield, but just about how that's an important game towards the end of the year. Um, which I'm hoping it releases, and I'm hoping there's no more delays, which there shouldn't be, because I know they said they're pretty well on track for that one. Um, because that's going to be, I have, I'm trying not to get my hopes up. I'm trying to get my hopes up for anything for video games anymore, but that's, it's got me thinking that it's going to be a really good freaking game. Um, and then he talked about how 2022 they didn't have a lot of releases, and um, how 2023 is going to be better, and that's why they're hopping on and trying to stay ahead of it. And but he said, and I agree with this. From an outside looking in, yes, it wasn't the best year, but from the inside, like working on this stuff, they know stuff that they're working on that we don't even know about, and they're excited on the inside. And I don't know if that's just corporate talk, corporate speak. It could be, but I mean, again, it. I'm hoping it is true because I do like my Xbox, and I think Phil Spencer is probably one of the best things to happen to gaming. So I'm glad that he's saying that kind of stuff and he's sticking with it. And he, like I said, he feels bad about the layoffs, but he feels bad for the people that lost his job, which I think all of us do. And he said he's got to focus on the people that are there to keep it so there's no more layoffs and stuff like that. And then obviously the thing that hit me, like I love this part. He said Halo will remain critically important to what Xbox is doing, and 343 is critically important to the success of Halo, which I think it needs because I know a lot of people were backlashing 343, and again, they made a good Halo game. They were rushed out. I think we all can agree with that. There wasn't as many modes and features that people would have liked. And again, I'm gonna say this, and I don't. He doesn't even touch base on this, and this is something that's bothered me. I like Halo for the gameplay, and if you've seen my what Halo means to me, you know all the stuff I like Halo. And yes, I like the customization of my Spartan, and I think they offered me a lot of customization with like the season passes and the stuff that's in the shop, and we can go over if you think the shop's expensive or not, whatever. But again, the game was built on a good core gameplay, and I think people need to. If you're a fan of Halo, that's something that like he's trying to say. Like the game is going to keep going forward. They have plans that they haven't even announced for Halo. That's hopefully something that we're going to see a little more rumored and things we don't know about from what I'm hearing. So again, that's good news for the Halo side of things. And again, he's been on record saying before if they lose their way with Halo, they lose their way with Xbox because they are one and the same. I think that's something that's loyalty that you don't see in well, not just gaming, any type of entertainment or just anything in general. Like they, as a company, Microsoft knows that their gaming division is huge now, and they wouldn't have a gaming division anywhere near on the level if Halo didn't sell that first Xbox and put it in everybody's home and make the 360 like the monster that it was. But and he knows that, and that's one thing that I appreciate about him, and that's one of the things that I stay loyal to Xbox because I feel like with Phil Spencer in there, I'm a fanboy of Phil Spencer. I'm not afraid to admit it. And then they talk about E3, which he was saying they're going to do their normal thing, like you know how they kick it off at the beginning with like their Bethesda and their well before it was Bethesda and Xbox, and now Bethesda does it in Xbox with the one and the same companies with the ZeniMax purchase, which that's cool. I'm glad they're going to be there. I'm glad we're going to see some more stuff in E3 that's coming. I believe June, if I remember correctly. I don't know if it says it in there. And then he talks about the big thing, the freaking $69 billion purchase of Activision Blizzard, and how he's learned a lot, but he still feels comfortable that it's going to go through, which that's great. Like, come on, I can't wait to have all those things on Game Pass. I have a hard time buying Call of Duty right now as it is, so it'll actually get me probably to play more Call of Duty. Just I don't know, just something about the Call of Duty brand. I like zombies. I like playing the campaigns usually, but I just have I don't know. The multiplayer hasn't done it for me in a long time, and most of the times I find myself playing just because my friends are playing, like towards the end. I still think Blackout was better than Warzone. That's a hot take, but we could talk about that in another one. Um, so he's feeling good about it. They're feeling comfortable. I'm curious to see a couple things, what they're going to do with this purchase. Like, there's some ideas that are going in my head, which I'm hoping they kind of do. But yeah. Besides that, they talked about The Last of Us on HBO, which he's a fan of, and he can't believe how good they're doing. He obviously took the question about the Halo TV series pretty, he's said it. He said it the most corporate way he could say it, but you could tell that he wished that the Halo series was as good as the Last of Us series. But I'm hoping good things for the second season because I know Microsoft had a little more of a hand in it, and I know that they. But again, at the same time, I know that they have to work off of what was already established. I've been on record saying, and I'll say it every time, I would be okay with them just having Chief wake up from a freaking a cryo sleep and say, "Oh, that was a weird dream," and it's actually in Steve Downes' voice. But obviously, we're never going to get that. That would be amazing. But and again, I still go off the thing that Master Chief should have been a side character voiced by Steve Downes, and they could have told an ODS story, a Spartan story, Marines. They could have told any type of story. But that's a whole nother topic of that. But yeah, so I think after the direct and the Phil Spencer interview, I'm thinking Xbox is looking good going forward. Again, could be a little biased because of how I'm a big Xbox fan, but I'm curious to see what you guys think. If you did make it this far into the video, let me know. I'm hoping that you guys kind of agree. I'm assuming if you made it this far, you're probably an Xbox fan. If not, if you didn't make it this far and you're not an Xbox fan, cool. Let me know why you think maybe Xbox isn't going to do good. But I'm hoping that here in the future, I did talk to B Dog. There's a possibility, I'm not saying it's going to happen for sure, that him and I get together. I think our schedules are going to line up, and maybe, just maybe, I get him on for a podcast. You guys can hear his thoughts, opinions, what he's been up to and doing. Will be more of a like the older type of podcast where we kind of just talk about random topics, maybe some current events, but we'll see what that's going. I think that's it for this one. I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.